Hi guys, today I'm gonna try out Caroline Winkler's method to figure out my interior design style. So maybe you don't know, but I just moved in my first ever apartment without any furniture. So I figured that would be a very good opportunity for me to figure out my interior design style. And in order to do that, around 3 months ago, I started looking all over YouTube to find some kind of inspiration. And I watched quite a lot of video from the YouTuber called Caroline Winkler. And I think if you're watching my videos, then probably you already know her because she's such a popular YouTuber in this area, and she talked a lot about this and give a lot of good advice for people who is struggling with interior design. So I think today I'm just gonna take one of her videos and then follow her advice to find my interior design style. I will put both the link to the video and the information about the channel of Caroline on the description box. And if you only care about the part where I do this, then please jump to also the timestamp of the second part of this video. But if you also care about the situation where I am and the entire context, like why am I even doing this, then just watch the entire video and I really hope that you enjoy it. So let's get started. Alright, so let me give you a little bit of the context. Before I moved into this apartment, I already thought about what kind of sofa that I'm gonna put in my living room, because it's definitely gonna be one of the statement piece, one of the most central pieces of my apartment. So then I have been looking a lot around, doing a lot of research on what's available, and then I come up with this sofa, and I of course have reasons for it. The first reason is that my sofa should definitely have some kind of chaise longue, which is the area that you can sit comfortably with your legs fully extended, and that is very, very helpful for all of the time after dinner, for example, every day when I just want to sit on my sofa and watch something. My leg will not like hang like uncomfortably outside of the sofa, or I don't have to go all the way to the front of the sofa and sit like this and don't really have my back lean into anything. So then that's the first reason why I choose this sofa, because as you can see, it had a very, very long area which I can use as a chaise longue. And the second reason is this sofa is so damn comfortable. And when it comes to sofa, I don't want to choose some crappy, cheap sofa that doesn't feel soft enough or doesn't feel like of high quality enough, because then I will not feel very good sitting or lying in it. So that's the second reason. Do I have a third one? And the third one is, of course, you can find some sofas that have just the chaise longue and don't have the back lying in here. So basically not a corner sofa like this. But I think a corner sofa frame this corner of the room very well, and it also feels more social and more inclusive, and people can definitely just sit there and have somewhere to rest their back anyways. So then I think this sofa is the best out of all of the options that I have available out there. By the way, yes, this one is the model is a Quadrato sofa from Boohoo's, and I do believe it's a older model, and I once considered also the Otello model from Boohoo's as well. But yeah, that model, as you can see, don't really have the back for the chaise longue, and it was also not on fin at the time that I was looking around for like several months. So I don't really think that a lot of people are buying and selling that particular model. So if I want to buy new, then it's gonna be like 10, 11, 12 something krone, 1,000 krone. So I was not really ready to pay that price for that sofa. And then I got this one for, I think, 11,000 krone. And the story of picking it up is also funny. It's on the way up to the fifth floor of a apartment without an elevator. But yes, that's probably a story for another day. So that's the background of the sofa. And the point I want to make here is, yes, it fits all of my criteria, but it doesn't fit any of the interior design rules. So let's say, because I have quite a small apartment, and this room is basically a living room, a kitchen, and a dining room. So then it's a combination of a lot of things. I don't have a lot of space. So when I consider different types of sofa, I have to draw a floor plan and then plan out the exact dimension of the sofa that can fit within the room. And then I try different options of the exact dimension of the options of the sofa that I was considering. And this sofa is actually a little bit big for the space that I intended to give the living room corner. So let's say, I think ideally I should only spend like 2 meters from this window inwards for the sofa, but this sofa is actually 225 long, and also I have to leave some space in between the sofa and the window because there's a heater next on the wall under the window here. So then that means that if I really have to consider the rules of the interior design and make sure that there are space of like 1 meter in between big furniture pieces, and I want to allow a lot of breathing space between them, then this sofa is probably not the optimal choice, even though there's definitely still I would say reasonable spaces in between the big furniture pieces in my apartment. And the second thing is, they always say that when your apartment is small and if you want to make it more airy and spacious, which is what I would prefer doing, I should choose a sofa that is not this kind of bunky and go all the way to the floor, but a little bit lifted and have legs, and the details should be like thinner and not overwhelming in terms of size. But in most cases, those sofas don't look very nice to me personally. And also when they have a little bit of the leg and then it's lifted the rest of the sofa above the ground, it's gonna be annoying me every time I clean the floor, because then I don't think my vacuum machine can go all the way underneath unless the legs are super long, and then it's gonna become super leggy. So this is actually very practical for me. Yes, those are the rules that I actually broke for this beautiful, beautiful sofa that I'm super, super proud of. Yeah, it just makes me feel very good about myself every time I look at it or every time I use it. So I think this is a brilliant choice for me. But there's always a but. I have to find then a sofa table to go with it. I have to style this living room area to be cohesive and still express myself and still highlight the sofa, which is my pride and joy. So what happened after is that I was, of course, looking for a sofa table that I like. One day, I saw an ad on Finn who was giving away this sofa table. And I was like, yes, it's made from wood. It looks like it's real wood. And it looks kind of stable enough, even though the legs are long, but the legs are actually a beautiful part of it with very, I'd say, not like very fine detail or anything, but there's a little bit more like a kind of craftsmanship to it. And the veins on the table plates looks very nice as well. So I was like, okay, and it's for free anyways, I think I'll just try it out. And I must say that I'm quite happy about it. I really appreciate the details. I have always been loving the details on different type of material. I think I have a big love for sculptures. So then when I look at the tables, like the modern design table and just like have very clean look, it's difficult for me to fully appreciate them. But with the older table, with the older style, with all of the details that people probably make like very carefully, either by hand or by some kind of machine, but still with a lot of care and attention, I just feel so much more appreciating those kind of furniture rather than newer, more industrial style of furnitures. So then I was super happy with the table as well, actually, especially when I got it for free. But then, now is where I am stuck because I have a super comfortable modern sofa that I love. I also have a super, I don't know, like retro style, vintage style table that I really appreciate the craftsmanship. But the styling direction of them are kind of like going not really towards the same direction. So I was kind of fine for a while because this is it for the living room area to work. But I really do want to style it, and especially add a area rug, for example, to frame it even better and separate it more clearly from the dining and kitchen area. But then I just have to decide on a rug. And now, with this sofa being super modern and that table being super like old style, vintage, retro, then which direction of the rug should I go for? And I was almost going for a passion rug with red color because I tried some visualization with ChatGPT, and I think that the red color that is usually on pastel rug really makes this area look super cozy and nice. But then I was also at the same time a little bit afraid that it's gonna make the look of this table a little bit too retro and a little bit too much to the older direction that I don't even feel like I'm living in this era and this in my room in Oslo in 2025 anymore. I'm just a little bit afraid of that, so I didn't really make that decision. And I also think that yes, a very neutral and modern rug would actually make this area feels much more clean, and it will make the sofa shine on its own, and it will also make the dark wood table more popped out as well. But then still, I think choosing a neutral rug with like almost no pattern and just like some brown or beige or cream color tone is too much of an easy choice, and I I don't want to make that like instant easy choice almost, and I want to add some kind of like interest into this area as well, probably preferably some very subtle but interesting pattern. So then I was really not sure, and I just go back and forth. I also think, okay, so let's say now this sofa is very modern and this table is retro, so what if I put also something else that is modern and something else is also retro? So it says the rug is modern, and then I put a picture frame with some wooden or brass frame with some oil painting up here, or should I put like a modern painting here and then some pastel rug down here? Like, probably that should be the way that I go, but still I'm so lost, like I don't know what to do. So then I remember that I used to watch a video of like how to find your style, and I really want kind of like a guy here, like a northern star here to actually guide me towards the direction that is right for me. Otherwise, I'm so afraid of making mistakes that are expensive to fix, and what if I don't even know how to fix it? So then I just decided that today, on such a stormy day in Oslo, I'm gonna take my time on my beautiful sofa and rewatch that video. I think that video is from Caroline Winkler, a YouTuber who is also super passionate about interior design. And yeah, I think I will just watch through the guide again and do it step by step and try to figure out my interior design style. So if you are interested in my journey of actually doing this method, then follow me for, yes, the second part of the video. Okay, let's get started. So today is on about living room styling, and I just rewatched parts of the video. So then the method that Caroline suggested is basically to look at all of the inspirational photos that you have, or either on her list of photos as well, and decide what you like and what you do not like, and then try to describe your styles in words, and then just kind of like narrow it down until the point that you find that it's unified enough and you feel confident enough about your style. Let's get started. This one is probably the latest that I saved. And I think in here I must like the combination of colors between the dark green shade here and the more like lighter, more pastel pink shade here. And also I like the details on the wall. Above the wall here, it's just a little bit of detail, but it does add elegance to the space. Also on the list above the ceiling, I like the lamp here. The details on it are nice, and also the details on the picture frame. Yes, so I think this, and also yes, the pattern on the pillow here as well. So overall, this look quite feminine and elegant, and I really like the combination of color. So in here is a contrast in both the temperature of the color and also the saturation, but they still work very well together. So combination of contrasting color but still harmonized, and also I like more like fine, elegant details. Nice. we off a good start. This one, I think I like it definitely mainly just because of the floral details. I just like flowers in general. And yeah, it's just as if I see more nature in my living space. So I think, okay, I'll take a note here. Next, this one as well, definitely it has some very elegant details to it. The chandelier is very, very elegant. Not sure if it would work in my space, but definitely something that I appreciate. I think it could work if I can find some chandeliers that look like this. And also, I think for this photo, I think the thing that I like the most is actually on the wall. And it's not necessarily that I like a gallery wall, because I think it can look very clustered. But what I like is the feeling of collecting and accumulating unique objects over time and then display them in a way that look interesting. So I think it just gives a very collected and intriguing feeling in here. Like, it makes people want to just like go closer and check it out, and overall it just makes the space have a lot more depth to it. This one is also definitely something about the floral detail as well. I like the flower on the painting at the back here. It gives me a very like traditional oriental feeling. And the elegance here is not just about the little flowers and the petal, but also on the branches of the tree as well. Like, they just expand in a super gentle and elegant way. So I really, really like it. But rather than that, I don't think I like the lamp or the chair or the sofa table. And the sofa is also not that I would really particularly like. So for this photo, I would say I only like the painting then. This one. Ooh, definitely I was already been checking out this pink sofa at that moment. So yes, I like the pink sofa here. And apparently just the sofa, because if I exclude the sofa from this photo, then there's nothing that I really, really like about it. And the reason why I like the sofa is that it gives me a feeling that it should be super soft and it should be kind of comfortable to sit on it or lie on it. I think, even though it's a little bit too bubbly, but it just like, it looked like it's soft and it's nice and it's luxurious. So then definitely something about the feeling of the sofa. It have to feel very luxuriously comfortable. What do I like about this space? I definitely don't like the texture of the sofa. It looked like some kind of like teddy fabric that looks very quickly bad as you sit on it. I don't necessarily like the table. But I think what I appreciate in this one is the overall harmony of the shade. I like the shade of brown that it's just like repeated here and there in the photo. I think the details on the wall and the ceilings are also very, very nice, but it's not necessarily going to give a super cozy feeling, because it's a little bit too elevated almost. This one as well, haha. So I remember that I used to like this one quite a lot when I marked it. And I think it's mainly because of the combination of the color. But now it just look a little bit like there's too much contrast and saturation to me. That is a little bit overwhelming and too much simulating here. But I definitely still like the combination of just like contrasting color is still very interesting. Probably just a little bit less saturation or something like that. And I like the sofa table here. It's super, super nice. Yes, and also I think then, how to say, the style of the furniture, especially when it comes to table that I like, is that it should have some weight to it. It should not feel like it's very light and very leggy and very thin, because then it just gives a feeling that probably people are trying to cut some cost by minimize the material here or something. So, and when it has some weight to it, it looks more like it's more luxurious, it's more stable, and it just make people take the wall probably more seriously or something. I don't know, but I think I really like the table or the main furniture that have some weight to it. Tree branches, elegance, always beautiful in a space, or just a painting of it, yes. And I think in general, I really like the shade of red as well. So I just really, really have a very strong thing for red, and I think I'm a little bit struggling cooperating red into my space, but I think at some point I still want to do it. This one, it's a very, very nice photo, and I think the reason is mainly because of the color on the walls. It's just a beautiful, beautiful shade of dark red. And then it just gives like a color drenching effect, like some kind of moody feeling. And then it makes all of the brass details just like pop out, and they complementing each other so much. And I like the rock there as well. It just adds so much more details and interest to it. So definitely, I think at some point I definitely want some corner in my apartment to have this kind of moody feeling, and just have like something that's super bold and daring. And also I think, I'm not sure, but not entirely sure, but possibly the appearance of metal like brass here and there would be nice. So I'm gonna take a note here. Yeah, I think we are going further back at the time that I started to explore my style on Pinterest. So back at that point, I think I just like a lot of white and brown in the space, and I must say that I still like it, because I think most of the time when people have photos like this, it just looks super bright and airy and comfortable and simple and just minimalistic. So yes, some kind of bright and airy and clean look would be nice. And yes, I think over time I definitely find out that I like dark wood much more than light wood as well. And especially when they are kind of like highlighted in when they're placed next to a very bright shade of wall color, usually white or some shade of very, very neutral bright color. So I'm gonna add that as well. And also the level of craftsmanship to the dark wood as well. I mean, like with like modern furniture, most of the time they are made by machine, and those are just very clean and like basic shape, like round or square or rectangular, and the corner are usually like very sharp, and that is something that I don't really appreciate a lot. But looking at this sofa table, for example, yeah, I just appreciate it much more. It looked like someone actually pay a lot of attention to detail and really goes the extra mile to make them like smoother and more, they're more curved in the details rather than just like sharp corners. I'm not sure what I like about this anymore. I mean, I don't like the lamp. I don't like the things that hang on the wall. They look a little bit too simple, too modern to me. But then the sofa I also don't particularly like, because as I said, they should be somehow thicker than that. A table, no. Chairs, no. The carpet is a little bit too saturated. This one, yeah, I think the sofa looked very comfortable. But then that's it. This looked quite boring. Oh, the table looked quite nice. This table look kind of sculptural. Yes. And the lamp looked also sculptural. But yeah, I still think that this space is a little bit boring and monotone, probably because they pair also the chair and these detail exactly the same as the sofa as well. This one, yes, so very basic Japandi, Scandi style. So then I think I still really appreciate the bright and airy and calm and zen feeling of the space. And I think I still would live very happily in this space. But I think more and more, as I watch more like designer videos, I think I would like to cooperate a little bit more colors and more patterns and more interesting details into my space. But definitely bright and airy is something that I always is gonna be appreciating. This one, flower branches, beautiful. The lamp is beautiful, the painting is beautiful, the sculpture here is beautiful. The table is like, yes, having the weight, and yes. So overall, this works for me because there's a lot of details that I like. And the sculpture is just, yes. I definitely like sculpture in my space. So then that means that I think I really want to give the space some kind of artsy feeling. I think I really like it mainly because of the sunlight, and the ceiling is so high, the walls are white, so then it just gives a super warm and dreamy feeling. And yes, the table, the lamp, and the picture frames are nice. Yeah, so there's some fine details in here that I appreciate. I used to very like this one. I mean, yes, you see the pattern here, white sofa, wood, brown wood table, brown wood everywhere. And also it gives a very zen and natural feeling. But I'll say why the sofa, I can live with that because it looks comfortable. But then the dining table and benches there don't look very comfortable, like you don't have anything to lean onto, and the surface that you sit on is also not that comfortable. And I'm not sure if I will appreciate this super rustic ceiling as well. Sure, there's something that works in this and something does not. But I think I really appreciate the overall vibe. But when it comes to really experience the space, I think it will be fun for a while, but not always. Yeah. There's definitely still some space in my heart that just likes something super clean and bright and airy. But there's also a lot of space in my heart to make things more interesting. And I think this is the first ever photo that I ever saved, and I think it showed up a lot all over YouTube and Instagram and stuff. So I think this must be a space that a lot of people like. For me, I immediately liked it as well as a first glance. And I think it's definitely because of the shelf and the art, and also the combination of colors, as I mentioned, warm and cool. And also I like the sculpture, the lamp on the shelf, all of the small little details. Again, they feel very collected. And I think, yes, just like the feeling about something that looks super collected over time, say something about the owner of the space. It looks like they have been out doing things and have been seeing things, and yeah, it just gives a much more interesting feeling about the space. So definitely decorate this thing. Even though I don't think that I'm gonna have some open shelf display like that is this size, because it's massive and it's gonna take me the entire weekend to just clean the dust out of it. So it's definitely not practical to me, but a little bit of this is gonna be very nice. Okay, I think that's it, because that's the first photo that I put into this board. Okay, let's look at my overall style throughout this exercise then. All right, I spent some time to organize the things that I just take a note, and I also changed the angle a little bit so that you can see my face a little bit clearer. But okay, so overall, I found out that my interior design style is feeling wise, it should feel clean and calm and bright and airy, but also cozy. And functionality wise, it should give a luxurious comfortability kind of feeling. So everywhere, everything that you use is supposed to give you a feeling that the things that you are using is of high quality, and everything is just like warm and soft and smooth and comfortable to use. And in terms of, let's say, details, then it should be some kind of admirable craftsmanship, and the main furniture should have the weight to them. And then details wise, they should have some fine, elegant and floral details. And the feeling overall when it comes to smaller decoration should give a collected and artsy feeling. In terms of material, I would definitely prefer dark wood, and preferably in the contrast with brighter surfaces. And also, here and there could be some brass or bronze or material like that to make the space more interesting. I like to think about it as like the jewelry of the space. And last but not least, the contrast yet harmonized color combination. I think that summarizes my style. I think this is quite clear actually. I think this method definitely works. But would it help me to overcome this situation? Like, where should I start again? What should I do with a rock? What should I do with a wall? What should I do?
2,000 years later.
Okay, so my conclusion from this is that because when it comes to decoration, I would like something that look more collected and artsy. So then the decoration on the wall should be of some classical style rather than super abstract and clean and modern artwork with some super clean frame. I think ideally I would like more retro dark wood frame or some brass frame, which would work very well with some oil painting. But then that is definitely towards the more retro classic style as well. So then, as I mentioned earlier, probably I would balance it out with a rock that is a little bit more modern. And if it is of a brighter shade as well, then probably the sofa table is gonna pop out more. So that is something that I will consider. But also the second part of the guide that in the video that I watched is that I can totally start out with the entrance space as well, which is by no means the same as this living room space, because this living room space is very bright and airy, and it makes me want to decorate it in a different way. And the entrance is more like very dark and very narrow, and so then I would definitely tend to decorate it in a more like, I don't know, moody and I don't know. But then, yes, I can start with decorating my entrance as well. That could be interesting. So yeah, my final conclusion is that I don't have a final conclusion yet, but I will be exploring towards those two directions. So something classic on the wall and modern on the floor, and also try to decorate my entrance. And I will come back to you guys with updates hopefully soon. But that's it for today's video, and thank you so much for watching.